Please, if you are reading this, for the love of God save me. My name is Alex Fuller. I'm a SWAT officer with the NOAA Police Department in NOAA, Maine. It's a small town, around 800 people. I've only lived in NOAA for 2 years and had this job for less than a year. Nothing of note really happens here, so my job is rather unfulfilling. You'd think, why the hell does a small town need a SWAT team? Truth is, I always wondered that, and I know now. I got a call from the department today. They told me to head to the station and gear up. Now for one, it isn't normal for me to get a call to go on a job. Normally I have to do regular police work like patrols and typical police stuff like that. So I get in my trashy Chevy Spark and head to work. It was absolute chaos. Everyone in the station was scrambling over stuff, almost sprinting to answer calls. Everyone seemed to be in a total panic. Without a second left to think, Chief Roberts boomed with his voice fuller, "Get your damn gear on and get your ass ready." Roberts was an imposing but gentle man. His voice was like a massage to the ears. He looked like if Sam Elliott was a professional wrestler, so to see him this upset sent a shiver through my bones. After getting my gear, my R-15 rifle, and Beretta M9, I met with the rest of the team outside next to the armored transport. And before I knew it, we were filing into the truck and speeding through downtown. No one normally at this time of day was bustling with people going on errands, the mom and pop stores open and thriving, and children playing. But it was empty, like someone had snatched everyone from the town. The few people I saw were locking their stores or on a panicked phone call. Eventually, we turned onto Steel Drive, a neighborhood bordering the large woods to the east of town. As we blew through the streets, it was barren just like downtown. Nobody was grilling out front, no children playing in the yards and streets. It was too quiet. It was quiet with the team too. Nobody was talking, not even Simmons. I felt like I was missing something, like it was all one big joke. And it was Don't Tell Alex a Damn Thing Day. We stopped at the end of the road, where the large forest stood imposingly. The woods in NOAA have always gave me a terrible vibe. I lived on the west side, so I rarely saw them, but when I did, it always looked like the old-ass Pet Sematary movie. Fog would cloak the forest like a blanket. The trees stood like giants against a man, and their roots stretched out like tentacles reaching for me. Peters flung the back door out when we stopped, and we all got the order to file out. As I stepped out onto the empty street, I swear I could hear a howl. It was an inhuman screech that filled my soul with dread. We got the order to move out into the woods. Then came the same damn feeling of dread, eating at my soul. As we move into the woods, watching each other's backs, we come upon an old dilapidated building. It's strange. There was almost nothing around it, just the naked woods. It wasn't some kind of cabin either. It was a big industrial building, almost like a machine shop. A big sign hung above the entrance. It read Tough Industries. There was a massive claw-like slash through the sign, almost like something you would see out of the Jurassic Park movies. Roberts asks a question on the radio, too quiet to understand him. We could hear the operator yelling at him to move in though, so I guess it was dire. If only I could have known. We move in slowly, checking each corner and blind spot. I follow my squad, and I notice typical graffiti on the walls and on the old ruined furniture. We leave the admission area and enter the shop floor. The writing on the walls slowly changed from the typical skater kid art to pleas for help, warnings, and mad ravings. Some wrote in a dark red color. The hairs on my back stand up. I feel cold, so cold. I knew whatever was on the other side of these doors into the shop floor would be the worst thing I could ever see. Another inhuman screech comes from inside the shop somewhere. Jenkins jumped into me when we heard it, almost causing me to pull my gun on him out of instinct. Roberts takes point and kicks open the door. We all file into the room. Old dilapidated machines litter the room. Watching my step, I round the corner without my squad to see a hole in the wall. It wasn't a normal broken wall hole. It was a perfectly circular void, emitting a hollow groan. As I call for backup, fast footsteps like someone was running 30 miles per hour crash through the shop floor. I hear one of my squad mates scream for his life. I turn around to see something truly inhuman. A 12 feet tall, skinny, skinless humanoid creature was the source of the footsteps. It was completely bald and had Roberts in its long, gangly arms. Roberts begins yelling as we all open fire on the creature. It doesn't even seem to acknowledge our presence, as its jaw unhinges like a snake. Roberts stopped screaming, accepting his fate. I watched the thing swallow him whole, saw Roberts slide down its skinny throat like a snake. The thing turns to us and lets out that screech, and more of those things reach out of the far side of the shop. I turn into the hallway we came out of and I ran, ignoring the running, the screaming, the gunfire. I ran faster than I ever have in my life. I didn't know where I was going. I just had to get the hell out of there. I dove into the transport, reaching for the keys in the center console. The transport kicked on with a twist of the keys, and I floored the gas. As I drove out of there, I look in the rear view mirror to see one of those things chasing after me on all fours with a massive, toothless smile. I make it onto Steel Drive again, and I see more of those things way down the street, staring at me. I take a left into the garage of one of the houses, absolutely decimating the door, and getting stuck in the wall. Jumping out of the truck with my rifle, I run into the unlocked, an abandoned home. It's sitting here, frozen in time. Everyone was gone. There was no way anyone was home. I shoved the fridge over the door leading into the garage. I quickly covered the front door with the couch and ran upstairs. I ran into what looked like a teenager's bedroom, saw the still unlocked laptop, and figured I could use it. The kid was logged onto Discord and Reddit. He had messages with one of his friends, both of them mentioning a weird noise coming from their backyards. In a panic, I peer out the window to see more of them, at least a dozen, standing there and smiling that awful smile. I figure that this is the quickest way to call for help. I don't know how long I have. They're just sitting there toying with me. I'm so scared. I want to see my girlfriend one last time, or my mother, or my dog, or something. I didn't get to say I love you to my mom. I'm 23. I should have had more life to live. Please help me.